Hello and welcome to Start the Beat with Sykes. My name is Sykes and this is my podcast. Before we get started, I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank everyone who checked out the last episode. If you're one of those people, hope you enjoyed the conversation and thanks so much for coming back. But for those of you out there who are new to the show, welcome. Feel free to make yourselves at home. And as always, there's beer or soda or water in the fridge. How you doing?
I'm pretty good, man. We living, we blessed. Here, feeling good, man.
That's what's up, man. I am sitting here today with the one and only Scoop. Make some noise for the internet.
Scoop TV, Scoop TV, Scoop TV.
So yeah, let's just get right into it.
All
you
right.
are the man, myth, and legend behind Scoop TV.
Yep.
Let the people know about it.
All right, man. I have a vlog that I do called Scoop TV where I interview a lot of the artists around the city and stuff like that. I do a lot of different things. I can go on for days. Sell clothes and all different things I like to dabble into, draw a little bit. If you can see my logo, I drew that. We got a lot to talk about today.
Nice. That's what's up. That's what's up. And for those of you out there that want to keep up with what Scoop's doing, just real quick, Instagram.com/ScoopTV24. You can also see some video content over, just look up Scoop PTV PGH right here. You see
Scoop
it there.
TV PGH.
So with all that being said, hello. Thanks for coming by today.
No problem.
Good to
Thanks
meet
for
you.
having me, for real.
Yeah, thanks for hitting me up. I always appreciate when strangers take initiative to come say hello because that's the only way you're going to make anything fucking happen.
Exactly. I'm all about growth and expanding. And any way I can help you, can help me. I mean, why not?
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So when did you start doing all of this stuff? I was looking at the YouTube and it looks like about a month ago you started doing uploads, but I'm not sure if there's a longer story behind this.
So I first started when I went to Clarion University was about I'll say 5 years ago. So
nice. Right
now, actually transitioning to being in Pittsburgh, I would say 3, but altogether as a whole, 2, 5 years altogether. But yeah, it was a long journey, started out in college, didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do with myself, So I took the process of just actually getting to know myself, and I came to stumble across one of me doing a day-to-day, and I just called it Scoop TV, like my nickname, Scoop. So Scoop TV, watching me.
I got you. So prior to all of this 5 years ago, what were you into growing up? What's the full backstory?
And it's crazy. I was more of a supporter versus actually somebody that needed support. So I didn't do too much of nothing for real. I used to draw a little bit here and there, but it was nothing I really say I had a passion for. So it was just college really helped me mold to what I really wanted to do for real. So I didn't really have too much of a plan before all this stuff. I'm just glad that I was blessed enough to find myself while I was in school. So I really wasn't doing too much of that. I was I had people that was rapping and doing music and stuff, and I was always more the supporter, hype man and stuff like that. But then I found my own lane and this became what I am today.
All right. Well, I always think that that's a really important conversation, whereas how do you find your own lane?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? What was it for you that made you realize it's cool that y'all are doing this, but low key, fuck y'all, I want to do it.
It's just was more me just being creative. I always was creative, dude. That's one thing I could really say. It was I just found something that I wanted to do that I actually liked, and I didn't want to go backwards and just shut everything off like I usually would do. School, football, stuff like that. I would just quit. This is something I really like, so I just wanted to keep on doing it. So that's why I felt everybody was gravitating towards it. So it was why not keep going? So that's helped me stay in my lane for real versus start trying to do things that I need to be doing.
Yeah. So you're doing a lot of different things, as you mentioned at the top of the conversation. Mm-hmm. What was the first thing that you started doing creatively?
It was more, I think, the interviews for real. I was doing a lot of the interviews up school, just playing around. Or it was more, and I was not actually, I lied. I would say the day-to-days for real. Because I started off with Snapchat. I'll go around, see people. I'll say Scoop TV to the camera and stuff like that, have them lit up school. So I would say more the day-to-days for real. Then that transitioned to me. I was just thinking all right, when I was younger, I always liked to ask questions. So I was why not start doing interviews? So I started doing interviews, and it just was just growing ever since then. And then that's when I got into the merch. Merch led on to me event hosting and stuff like that. It was just so much different things that I was doing. So yeah.
Nice. So, now 5 years flash forward, a lot has happened for you. You're starting to build things.
Mm-hmm.
COVID happens.
Yeah, man.
What the fuck?
I know.
How you been hanging on with that?
It's pretty good. You know, I feel like COVID really bring the hustler out of someone. So
For sure.
it was one of them things. It's like I could either stay in the house and not do nothing, not accumulate no money at all, or just let that stop my grind. And it was like, no, I'm gonna go out here. I'm gonna still, you know, do what I have to do, and it's gonna make me hustle a little bit harder because you know you might not have the same resources that you had before. But knowing that, you have to game plan, and that's what a lot of people don't do is game plan. So I already put myself in a position to know, like, if I was to quit my job right now, and you know, a lot of people are laid off of jobs, like, so I had to think of myself like this: all right, if I was to get laid off right now, would I be okay? Like, would I be able to maintain my bills and stuff like that? You always have to have a different source of income because this can happen whenever. You see how quick it was like the next day it was just everything was fucked up. Like, but you know, you have to really like put the game plan out there and make sure that you execute everything that you need to do so you can always have money and a source of income.
Yeah, you always have to have a plan C, D, E, F, G. You could keep going up the whole damn alphabet. You know, and I keep talking with people about this, and maybe, you know, this would be an interesting point to get into where a lot of people that are not behind the curtain, like they're not doing what we're doing. They have this idea that like you should just be doing one thing for all your money.
Right, exactly.
And like, it's like, motherfucker, not even Kanye West is doing just one thing. You know what I mean? Like, I keep saying, it's like, I don't know how much he really wants to make shoes.
Right.
But it's paper.
Yeah, for
so
real.
Fuck it.
Right. That's definitely true. Yeah, that is very true. So it's like, you know, I always heard like at least having 7 sources of income to how you become a millionaire. And I'm trying to slowly but surely getting to where I feel like I need to be as far as like my sources of income, what I feel comfortable doing every day. Because it's when you start feeling like this stuff is a job, it's not fun anymore. And I always want to have fun when I'm doing while I'm making this money as well. So
yeah,
that's very important to me. And also having a social life as well too. That helped me feed my drive when you're around the right people. So
I think there's too, like on the flip of what you're saying.
Yeah.
I think there's a certain mentality that's good for people to have, like where it's like, okay, I have my work life where, you know, I make my money, I do all this shit. And then I have my personal life, which is like fun. But why can't you make money off of the fun?
Fun. Exactly.
It's like, I feel like there's this idea, unfortunately, with a lot of people in the working class where they kind of like look negatively upon a job, or like it sucks that you have to go to work. But if you could find things that you love doing, like that's the energy that you need to actually make money.
Right.
Find things that you're passionate about. You can't be fucking grumpy and shit all the time.
Swear. I see people all the time going on their jobs just not happy. And that's one thing I was one of those persons. I was like that before. I had several jobs, worked at McDonald's, diner jobs, bus boys and stuff like that. And it was just like, I'm really not too big on of people being structured a certain way. I feel like society sometimes pushes us to be, okay, you go to school, you get married after that, you get a job, you know, you find your people and stuff like that. But it's like, sometimes you don't have to do that. Like I'm a rebel. Like I like doing what I feel like I need to do, you know? So I always try to preach that with my message between Scoop TV too. It's like most of it, you're not gonna always see positive stuff, but for the most part, like I do want to see the positive side of it and how you can really be your own self and also be your own entrepreneur too. I mean, we preach longevity. Like, I mean, so that's really like my main message with everything I'm doing. Like,
yeah. So with the content that you've been creating, I'm seeing that, you know, there's a lot of people, more people than ever creating content right now. Because that was one thing that like went crazy when COVID happened.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden everybody wants to be a fucking vlogger.
Right.
And like, well, I guess it's a good time to do it.
Yeah, swear.
But you know, it could be hard from a promotional side. It's like, what do we do as creators to really stand out? You know, have you found yourself struggling with that?
Yeah, that's a very good question because sometimes I do, you know, every day I try to come up with different like plans to be different, you know, try to create different content and stuff like that. My main thing, and I tell everybody who's actually vlogging and stuff like that, be consistent. One thing you cannot let up. You cannot let up. You have to keep on dropping videos, come up with different ideas, and have people to help you too. That's one of the main things.
That's what we were talking about when we sat down.
Yeah, swear. So it's like I'm just expanding my team. Just finding different ways that we can we could create different content and stuff like that too. So yeah, that's one of my main things, and I'm really trying to focus on now. And I got a couple other things I wanted to bring up. I'm doing like a web series. That's something different for me. It's my first time that I'm ever directing it. It's called Life. It should be coming. I ain't gonna give no specific date yet because I don't know. But
what's the web series about?
It's basically so kind of like winging everything because I'm not no story writer or anything like that, right?
Swing it.
So basically, it's really I'm trying to tag. So I sell clothes now. You know what I mean? That's everything. Like people starting to know me for. So I'm really trying to try to time my lifestyle and the startup of that. Like, so I'm just have different things. Let's more funny kind of drama stuff, like things that happen in our everyday life for real, coming from where I come from. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. It's called Life. Got a soundtrack for that too. So do music as well. So
there's a whole lot that we could just dig into right there from what you were saying. Right. So in terms of like wanting to make a short film series, did you have like much of an interest in film, movie, TVs? Do you like watch stuff, or is this more of just like?
Yeah, actually, we kind of aspired it a little bit. I don't know if you're familiar. It's something called Peanut Live. It's some starter. He's a puppet, but he's funny. He's funny as hell. Crazy. But I used to watch them all the time. I was like, man, I really want to start doing stuff like that for real right here in Pittsburgh. Like, it's not too much stuff like that in Pittsburgh. So I'm just want to be the person, I could put other people on, people who probably even thought about doing it and just come together and collab,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that you were in Clarion?
Yeah,
before?
Clarion University.
All right. Did you grow up that way, or did you grow up in Pittsburgh?
No, I'm from Pittsburgh. Yeah, okay. I'm from Garfield. Yeah.
So you just went to school up there?
Yeah, I went there. Yeah, I graduated from there 2017.
So what were you trying to be when you grew up? What were you going to school for?
Yeah, see, that's crazy. I went there for business.
Okay.
Kind of hard. It's definitely hard with the accounting and all that stuff like that. So I ended up switching off. I ended up doing I graduated with liberal arts and I minored in business. So it was cool, Liberal arts is kind of broad to everything, so I had classes everywhere. So I kind of got into communications when I had a couple classes in like filmmaking and stuff like that. So that's how I like kind of learned. But it was cool though. It was just like but for the most part, I learned all the like the editing my videos and stuff by myself. Like YouTube, YouTube, they might as well start a college up there. Like everything's up there. Like
that's really funny. So growing up in Pittsburgh, growing up in Garfield, moving to Clarion, that's a big culture shift.
It is.
So like, what was it like just personally? Like, did you have other friends that were up there, or did you have to like meet like a whole new group of people when you went up there?
Well, I jumped around to different schools a lot.
Okay.
Like, even from high school to college. So my first school, I didn't know nobody at all. Like, it was called Lackawanna. It was like a 2-year college. And then right after that, I had a friend that actually went to Clarion. He kind of convinced me to go up there. His name Eric Fry. He got his own little movement, Secure the Kid. Shout out to Secure the Kid. But he was like, yeah, bro, you might as well come up there. There's more people up there. It's pretty fun. So I was like, all right, I'm about to slide up there, see what they got going on up there. Went up there, it was just like every rush was history for real. Had a lot of things up there happen for me, like a lot of big opportunities that kind of travel over to right now. So
that's what I was going to get into. I was going to ask about like how your just experience, just your day-to-day being in school, having access to like the equipment, different ideas, like how that shaped what Scoop TV has become.
Yeah, it did teach me a lot. Like what I really learned from school, it's a lot of the things that you wouldn't even expect for real. Like it just was like the marketing side of everything, actually getting out there and meeting people. Cause I really wasn't as talkative as I am now, but sometimes I still catch myself kind of antisocial, but for the most part, like it was so strong and like powerful, and it had a lot, like it helped me so much actually going up, talking to people that I'd never seen before a day in my life. And sometimes them is the people that would support you a little bit more than what you would think, that actual people that you actually know for years. So it was one of them things. It's like I got to experience new people and learn different things was like the best for me, and I'm gonna take that for the rest of my life. Like this is like I found myself as a man up college. Like I found myself like I didn't know what I wanted to do in life. I didn't see myself here where I'm at now. Like I never I would never thought I'd be where I'm at right now, basically, if I didn't go to school. So that's one thing I could really say. Like, I appreciate all the things and lessons learned I learned up there.
Yeah, I think that's something that sometimes, unfortunately, goes over some people's heads.
Yeah,
just like the benefit of the day-to-day experience of doing something, or even like going back to maybe having a job at a McDonald's, like where you said you worked. It's like, I mean, it's like, you know, nobody really likes working in fast food, but I mean, it's nice learning how to, like, you know, be responsible, and maybe like, I'm not going to stay up and fuck off all night because I got work in the morning. Like, those are good lessons that you'll, you know, as you get into your 30s and older and your body can't handle that shit anymore, you'll be like, word.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
The party doesn't last forever.
Right. That is very true. That's very true.
You know, in terms of the party, do you find yourself being much of a partier?
Yeah. Yeah, man. Oh, man. There's a lot of proof on these internet sites too. Yeah, I had a good time at college. We was the ones that really was throwing the parties too. So it was like we had a very good time. And like, I sometimes look through my Snapchat memories and it's really like, damn, I wish I still was up there and could do this all over again. But you know, it taught me a lot. So I'm gonna have a lot of stories to tell my kids when I have kids one day. I'm gonna have a lot to tell them. Like, they probably be like, you wasn't a man up there. All right, I'll show you. We had a good time though. It was a blessing for real. Yeah, school. I'll never forget none of them memories up there, man.
So, you know, what was life like adjusting from being up there, being at the party and all that shit, and coming back to here? You know, how long have you been out of school? You said 2 years or something like that?
Yeah, I'll say, because I actually did some. See, I was all over the place. So I actually, once I graduated from Clarion, I went to Slippery Rock for a little bit.
Okay.
So I'll say I stopped going to Slippery Rock. Yeah,
another party school.
2 years. Yeah, right. Yeah, I had fun up
I'm starting to see a trend.
Yeah. Swear. Like, yeah, definitely. I would definitely say 2 years now that I've been away from school. So the transition was, it was cool. You know, it still had to adjust, like you have to adjust to anything. Like me even going to college and stuff like that. Had to readjust, you know, I had to like kind of move my fan base back home, you know. Yeah, it's the transition that like the same formula I did up school to get people to notice what Scoop TV was. I had to redo that when I got into Pittsburgh. It wasn't that hard because I kind of already knew a lot of people down here, but in the same sense, it was like you sometimes have to get everybody to re-believe in you. You know, re-believe in your brand and stuff like that. So I just was collabing, like coming back home. I just was like looking to collab with a lot of people.
I think that's the most important thing to do because you don't have that network hub that is the school. You know what I mean? Like you already have
like a cult
when you're up there. Yeah, you basically have like it's like a big extended family of some sort. So it's really easy to reach out and get support. Cause like, you know, we go to the same school and we're in this together. But as soon as you're back home, it's like, those people don't give a fuck anymore.
Right. That is very true. Swear, it's like they forget about you sometimes. It's like they sometimes it costs people to support a little tiny bit more because you're not there in front of their face. But luckily I feel like I have a pretty strong fan base in Pittsburgh now that I actually want to expand again. You know, it's always good to keep your movement moving. You know, you don't ever stay stagnant.
There's so many people in the world. And somebody's going to fuck with what you're doing. Exactly. You just got to know how to reach out to those people.
Exactly, swear. Yeah, the broader audience. Like a lot of people, I try to tell everybody, you have a movement, you rap, anything. It's always good to expand. You know, it's always good to travel. It's like you don't want to stay closed-minded when you have a business or a brand because like you're going to stay in the same place. And I've seen that happen before. Sometimes I can say one thing about Pittsburgh. When you're here, it's sometimes you get a little too comfortable. And I did that before. Like I did get kind of comfortable here, but I had to always like remind myself, it's like if I really want other people to see what I got going on, I have to expand and go to other places. And that's my best advice to anyone for real, is to see how way you could create like more people to understand and see what you're doing.
Yeah, I think that in terms of the independent artist, and sure, we can say it's a Pittsburgh thing because we're both from here, we live here, we know people that do this shit. But I think it really goes to anywhere. I think people do get comfortable in their bubbles, but that's like just a result of being a human being.
Exactly.
You know, it's not like exclusive to artists.
Right.
And I think that it's not natural or wrong to be happy with those comforts. And cool, like in that spot. But also, if you're going to simultaneously get down on yourself or maybe complain that things aren't growing for you, then you got to take that initiative.
Yeah, exactly. That's very true. That is very true. And I feel like people just need to step, because I haven't been out the country or nothing like that. I know I have a lot to see in this world, and it's just like, it take time, like you said, that bubble that we tend to stay in, some people like their comfort zone, and that's okay. But me personally, I know I like to move around. I don't like really staying in one place for too long. Way of Aries, I guess.
Yeah. So with COVID again, there's a lot of complications in terms of moving around and getting from place to place and doing things. All music and all that stuff aside, like, how do you feel, or what do you think is going to happen over the next 6 months?
Man, I honestly, to be honest, I like the way it's looking right now. I don't even know, to be honest. Hopefully we can get back in these clubs and bars and stuff like that, because a lot of people are losing a lot of money from just not being able to get to certain places. But man, it's just been crazy. Like, all this stuff is crazy. Like, me personally, I don't know how real this stuff is. I wouldn't say I'm just like a conspiracy theorist and stuff like that, but I just understand, like, as far as like the government and stuff, how things be set up. So I don't know, like, honestly, it's up to them for
sure
at this point. Yeah.
Sure, I'm in the same boat as you, where it's like, I know there's a lot I don't know. And regardless of what side of the fence you're on, I don't need like my friends on Facebook that haven't done a damn thing in their lives trying to tell me that they know what's going on. It's like, right, man. Like, okay, whatever makes you feel better, I suppose.
For real,
yeah, but I mean, hey, be safe, be respectful of each other and all that shit. But yeah, most of it is my hands are up. And I'm just like, all right, well, let's see what happens. I'm just gonna keep focusing on my shit and just, I'm somebody that's in a position where, like, the government really hasn't done a whole lot for me over the course of my life.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm just going to kind of keep moving.
Right. That is true. So whatever it is, it's like, come on, man. Just let us know what's going on. It's like, I don't know. It's just, I don't believe in a lot of this stuff for real. That's going on. It's an illusion.
It's interesting just because it's like, with your community and like people that and stuff like that. Do you know like people that have had it?
I have had it. Honestly, no.
I know two.
Yeah.
And both of them got it right at the beginning of all this.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. And these aren't even like they're like people that, like, I don't know them. They're like on my Facebook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Right. So it's like, I think that something's happening.
Right.
But yeah, it's really interesting when, you look at the news and you see all of this hype and hysteria.
Yeah, propaganda.
But like most of the people that we know, it's like, everybody just seems like, well, I don't know what's going on. Right. Every single person I'm talking to is just like, I don't know. I don't see nothing.
It's like a scare tactic for real. Like, there's just a lot of things, propaganda on CNN and stuff like that to keep stories going. Cause like the things are saying like, oh, these numbers spiked. I just don't get it. I don't get, like, just tell the truth. Whatever is going to happen, it's going to happen. But I just feel like that shouldn't be something that's going to stop your life from moving for real. Like, I was always like, nah, I ain't going to let that stop me from what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I got a bigger picture. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like there's been far, far scarier things that have been out in the world and we've kept rolling.
Mm-hmm.
But again, neither of us are doctors or scientists,
right,
so what the fuck do we know?
Right. That is very true. Like, that's what I'd be like, I don't know. Like,
yeah,
I don't even know.
With everything that you're doing, is there anything that you haven't done yet that you're hoping to get into in the next few years?
Let me think. That's a very good question. I never even thought of that. Fruit. That is a very good question. I would say, like, I would probably say like the short films and stuff. This is something new for me because I never really got into that stuff. I feel like if I really dedicate myself to that stuff, I feel like it could be very, very big. Yeah, I know moving is one of the things I really want to do. I was thinking to relocate to Houston.
Okay. Yeah, I was thinking when we were talking before about after you being in, I guess it would have been Slippery Rock back to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
If the plan was always to come back here or if it was just like a circumstantial thing.
Yeah, more of a circumstantial thing. I just feel like, and I had to be ready for that. That's a big move. Like, I know Slippery Rock's kind of closer. So
it's definitely closer in Houston.
Yeah. And it was like, you gotta get. I feel like that's something you have to prepare yourself for versus just going up there and do it. Some people do. I know people who just moved to California out of nowhere.
Yeah,
and they woke up one day.
That's
it was like,
fuck.
yeah. I swear. But it's like with me, I'm the type of person I plan certain things, like stuff like that. I want to plan, because I want to make sure I have a lot of money to do that. I just don't want to just go out there and just not have no type of plan. I'm just out there.
Yeah. So, there's something to be said though. And I'm not saying that you're wrong, because if I was in your position, I'd be doing the same thing.
Yeah.
But we both do a lot of things. We're both planners.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever find sometimes that maybe the planning and the overthinking actually gets in the way of actually getting anything done?
Yeah. That is true. Yeah. That it can sometimes. It's like, 'cause sometimes you're just waiting. There's no perfect moment to do anything. There really ain't. I tell people that all the time, like, there's no blueprint to living or life, period. Like, you just sometimes have to do it. You just have to experience it. And if you don't like it, Pittsburgh's always here. You could come back home. I got a lot of family here. So that is true. That is true. That's very true.
In terms of, family, are you someone who has had like decent support from your people around you?
Yeah. For the most part, yeah. I just, me personally, I like doing stuff myself though. Like, like my mom was always there for me. Single mom, but like she was always made sure I was straight. Like I never really needed from nothing, and a lot of my friends was pretty supportive too. So it's just good. That's very good. That's something very good to have around you. A nice support system.
That's fortunate. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't have it. Like I didn't really have it. I'm not here to tell my story, but it's just like, it's definitely a thing that does happen. I've seen other people that have like, either parents that just really like aren't around at the time, or they're too busy in their own shit trying to, it's hard, especially if you have like young parents like I did. Yeah. But then too, I've had like, people that have like parents that are maybe a little bit more well off. You know what I mean? And they are hoping that their kid will get into, something more financially worthy. Not that art isn't, but it's hard. Yeah, it's definitely hard.
Yeah, my mom was pretty much there for the most part of the journey. Like, sometimes of course you got to get everybody to believe in you though. Like I wouldn't say that, because like my mom was one of them people. She was like, get a job, and I was always thinking like, well, why is there a reason why I didn't want no job for real? Like I never thought, like, I had to really sit back and think like, why I don't want a job for real? Because I don't like getting told what to do. Like I don't like. So it's like I'm calling this. It just feel better when I could call the shots. I could wake up. I can make some money off of my own name, and I ain't have to. It's just a blessing. So it was one of them things. When she started saying that a little bit more, she started believing a little bit more. Like, okay, well he's financing himself, so he must be doing something right. So it was just one of them things. It's like I had to get her to believe too, because like I really don't see myself getting a job again for real. Like honestly, at least for right now. Like things been going pretty good. My clothes been selling very good.
Yeah.
So my interviews, people's booking up. So hopefully I can, if keep going how the way it's going, then I should be all right.
I find that there's this difficult balance that I wrestle with.
Yeah.
Where, in a way, my life is my job.
Yeah, right.
But, I like the idea of being like, well, like, I don't have a job, but it's like, well, no, I do.
You do, right.
But it's my life. And it's like, how do you balance that internally? So like, I don't start looking, I don't want to start treating the things that I love that I do as a job, because then we were talking about that earlier. But also at the same time, I don't want to like let things slip because I'm not taking it seriously enough. Yeah,
right. That's true. That is very true. I swear, like, and don't get me wrong, you got people in this world that they need structure and they like structure. So they have to have a job, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like if you're going to be out, like if I was to ever work again, it's to put into myself, like it's put into Scoop TV as a brand, and there's nothing wrong with that. But in the same sense, it's like you don't want to do something that you don't like because you're going to think of it as a job. And that's just true. Like, and I feel like if I was to wake up, I'm like, man, I don't feel like doing this interview today. I don't feel like coming to no podcast or anything like that. It's just like you're not passionate about it. You should wake up every day like, yes, man, I'm doing something I love. I'm about to help somebody. Somebody's about to help me. I'm about to be on camera. Stuff like that. This stuff that you feel comfortable doing,
And also, like, I think it's important too. I have this conversation sometimes with people that are trying to get into something like, yo, I want to record music and, or I want to start a podcast or I want to do videos and like, but like, you know, stuff's expensive. I don't have things. It's like, all right, well, it's like you got a job, right? And like, yeah. And it's like, you know, but I don't like my job. I want to do this stuff. It's like, okay, I get where you're coming from. But if you're not passionate enough to maybe try to put in some hours to get up every day, how do you really expect to spend the rest of your life doing this if you can't even just, you know, wake up early for a couple months and, you know, get some OT and buy that camera, buy that computer.
Right. And that is very true. I feel like people, or first of all, they don't have to hustle in them. You know, sometimes like and I was one of them type of people too. Like I feel like at a point in time, not everything should be handed to me because it wasn't like that. Like I had to grind for wherever I got. Like all my stuff, I funded all my equipment, all my clothes. I can't ask nobody for no money, so I had to go out there and get it. But some people that actually have people or the resources to actually get these things, they don't do it because like they will talk about it. You have to be about it. It's all about life's about action too. So it's just like a lot of things that principles that people tend to forget. But, you know, you can't get to where you really want if you're not putting the work in. And it's just like things can't just be handed to you regardless of what it is. Like, you have to grind. You have to get it.
Always tell people when they're like, yo, like, what do I need to do to, like, what do I need to start a podcast? I'm like, let's not talk about the gear. You just need to actually give a fuck.
Right.
Like, that's the most valuable thing. That's worth more. That's worth more than any cent that will ever be in your bank account.
No, that's
you got to have that passion.
You have to.
Without that, you're not going to fucking have anything.
Anything at all. I swear. It's like, so you have to really get up every day and want it. Like I get up every day. It's like today I was kind of down because like my clothes and stuff like that, it was been supposed to be done. So sometimes I could kind of slow my money up and stuff like that. But today I came in, my stuff actually came. I was just feeling good. I'm like, I'm motivated. I got to go up here and do this. Like I literally just came back from a video shoot. I just shot somebody's video before I came here. So it's just like, you're going to have them days, sleepless nights. You're going to have days where you have several things to do. Yeah. But it's like you just have to know that it's going to pay off at the end. Like when everything's going to pay off.
I love those days when I got a lot to do. You know what I mean? Like, dude, today, like I woke up, I was working on mixes all day. Then I made dinner. I'm doing this. And then I got band practice after this. And then I'm probably going to come back and work on mixes some more. Fuck it. Like, you know, like that's just, like, this is what, like, part of like me getting involved in all these things is because like, I guess there's a weird part of my brain that loves being able to like do all this. There's not this end goal for me to be like, oh, like one day I'll have a ton of money and I'll just be able to kick back. You know, for me, an optimal end goal would be like, yo, I got a ton of money and I could still work, but also like, you know, maybe I can eat a little better.
Right.
I could take my girl to Disney an extra time or something. Like
exactly.
Just dumb shit like that. Like, you know, it's never been about relaxing for me. Or like stopping. Like I just want to do more.
Yeah, that's very
like
true.
Anytime I come into like extra money, I'm like, okay, like what project can I dump this into that I've been wanting to do? You know, like that's just where it all goes.
Right. I swear. Cause it's like your mind always process, so write it down and make that a goal. You know, keep on doing what you got to do every day. Like it's just going to get better. It's going to get better, and I always have to believe from the moment I started to where I'm at now. I always believe that, and a lot of people might not even believe in you, but please, everybody watching, please believe in yourself. Please, like please. I can't stress that anymore. For real, believe in yourself, for real.
Yeah, no, I think that's really, really, really great advice. And I think, you know, patience too. You know, you mentioned before that, you know, this has been like a 5-year journey for you. And I think for some people, especially like younger kids, like 5 years seems crazy.
Right.
Like I had someone in here recently talking with them and they're younger, like 20, you know what I mean? And I'm telling them that like I spent 2 years working on an album and they're looking at me like I'm crazy. So 2 years to a 20-year-old's a lot of time. You know what I mean? It's like, motherfucker, I'm turning 35 in 3 days. Like 2 years ain't shit to me anymore. You know? So like how do you feel about like the concept of time? Because I think it's really easy to feel rushed nowadays with social media and everything. Feel like you gotta you said it before, you got to be consistent with content, which I do agree with, but like how hard on you are you on yourself about like being consistent with content versus like the quality of content? Because I think that's where some people fuck up too.
So like you said, how I feel like that's something, I don't know, like me personally, I just don't like things sitting for too long neither. Like I'll hold on some stuff and I'm like, I ain't dropped nothing this week. Let me just post something on YouTube. I don't know. It's like I am kind of hard on myself with that stuff. I ain't gonna lie. But it's just like, I don't know. That's just how I am personally though. That's where at almost everything. Like,
no, it's funny. I'm the same way. You know, like right now I'm putting up 2 podcasts a week. I have like 2 other separate vlog series that I do.
Okay.
And I was doing those too. That's a lot of shit.
Yeah, that is.
But with my bands, we like filmed a bunch of music videos. We're getting ready to do some album rollouts and shit. So I'm doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes and I don't got time to do everything. Right, I've just been doing the podcast.
Okay.
But like I was talking with somebody recently and they were like, yo, like I love those headphone hideaway videos that you do. And like, I was like, out of curiosity, I was like, I'm going to ask, it's like, did you notice that I haven't uploaded one in 2 months? Yeah. And they're like, actually, to be honest with you, I didn't. Yeah. So that's the other thing too. It's like, you could be really hard on yourself thinking that people are going to notice if you drop something, but everybody has their own shit going on. People are rocking with you. Like he had no idea. Right. You know, and also with the way social media feeds things to people, you know, I mean, it'll be showing you stuff that somebody posted 3.5 weeks ago for some reason. It's not in like real time. It's so wild. So I would say I relate with that, but also like people aren't paying attention to you that much. It'd be nice if they were, but they aren't right now anyway. So you can utilize that. At least I utilize that to my advantage when I feel like I just need to take a break or I need to focus my energy on things. Cause like, I think you're getting into like doing these video series and things like that. And that's going to probably be something that's going to be a lot more behind the scenes. That's not quick turnaround content, you know? And with stuff like that, the quality needs to really surpass the quantity of it, you know? So I imagine at some point in time, real soon, you're going to find yourself like, oh man, I don't got time to do all these things. I'm trying to do this big project.
Exactly. Swear. And I'm glad you brought that up because I really would like to like dump a lot of my time into that project so I get the best content and stuff like that. So that do ties into the quality, over the quantity sometimes too. Like I feel like, quality is very, very important as well. So
it's harder too, even, you know, because, you know, much like you, I do all this stuff myself. I mean, there's a couple people that help me out every once in a while. You mentioned maybe you're building a small team. But I mean, you watch any TV show and there's like, you know, 200 motherfuckers help make that thing. You know, we don't got that, you know, working with like a dozen people if we're lucky. So it's still a lot of work. And like, it's hard, you know, finding people, I think, to be in your circle that believe in you and that are willing to be there and, you know, not always get paid and all that shit.
That's the main things and a lot of things as far with a team too. Sometimes they think it's just about that person. Like it's not about that person. Like when I work with people, I want them to know that they have their own stuff going on or their own brand. It's not like you're just working out under me. I don't want to be telling people what to do, but if I can help you, you can help me. Let's do it. Why not? You know. And a lot of people don't look at it like that, which I feel like that kind of sinks a ship for real. Like, you know. And there's so much stuff that like people don't understand. If working together makes things a lot better, a lot easier, less stressful, and all that. Imagine if like we just had a couple people had somebody guiding that camera, if it's like went blurry real quick, or you know, this little things that help. You know, it's good. Like it's good to have, and it's a good feeling for real too. But you just make sure everybody's on the same page though. That's the only thing.
Yeah, I find that it could be really difficult sometimes as an independent creator. Once you've been used to doing things yourself, you like things a certain way. You got a certain quality. Kind of like relinquishing that control, putting that trust into other people can be really, really hard.
That's really one of my main problems. Bro, swear. And I'm like, damn, like you gotta have it a certain way you working with me, but I don't know. It's like over time that's something that could be taught though. You know, it's not a big deal breaker, but you know, still it's like you want it a certain way, so you have to, you know, try to find a way to maneuver it so it's the same exact way, which can be hard. That's cool.
You know, 5 years ago, things were a lot different when you were starting to get into all of this. I mean, the world was a different place. Right. You know, we had a different president. Not that I want to get into all of that. Right. But, you know, different time. It was a different time.
Yeah, definitely.
And now, you know, we're living in like, social media platforms have switched, you know what I mean? TikTok's like the biggest shit in the world. Nobody knew what the fuck a TikTok was 5 years ago. And like, where do you see things in another 5 years?
I feel like everything's just going to be digital, like everything, like literally everything for real. So it's like they're going to come up with different apps and stuff. I feel like that could probably help for these like independent creators to expand a little bit better. On TikTok, it's so easy to go viral on there for real, which I really will guess because everybody's on there. There's a lot of kids and stuff like that. I feel like everything's going to change. I feel like there's more apps and stuff, like things that could really help us for real, put different content in different places. So like I feel like the more apps we have to put these content on, the easier it might get for us. So hopefully in a couple years, like it makes this a lot more easier than anything else. Like,
I'm really curious with wherever and however things develop with all the COVID shit. I think that, there's a good chance that that's really going to push forward a lot of this digital stuff. And I'm really curious to see how it goes for me, because like my main thing that I do is like a music performer, playing shows. I haven't fucking played a show since March. Like I know there are some people that are playing shows right now and they're able to do shit, but like the kind of music I do, we're not playing like some cute little brunch outdoors somewhere. You know what I mean? It's like I need a club with lights and fucking fog and loud speakers. It's like
there's a lot of virtual like performances and stuff like that. So I think it's gonna be a lot of that now. A lot of different things, money stuff, digital, everything is going to be through like computer and stuff like that. It's just not going to be how it usually is. Which I really kind of seen that coming for real. A lot of that stuff be in movies and TV shows. You see stuff like that, like little codes and stuff like that. Like they be doing.
So this is probably, a really good time for you and starting to like really build and getting all of these things off the ground now. Swear. And that's what like I'm really trying to do. Like, I keep looking at my subscriptions and stuff like that. I want to grow that. I want to grow my YouTube and stuff like that. I can start getting it monetized and stuff. We're working on it. I really want to learn the digital marketing side of everything, because that's really how you get yourself to a better position as far as like the views and stuff like that. Just learn how to promote a little bit more. What's so fucked up from my perspective is that I feel like every time I have an understanding of how it works, it changes.
It changes, right. Swear.
It's like I have a really, really hard time on YouTube specifically.
Right.
I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because like I make like pretty like middle of the road content. And what I mean by that is that like I'm not doing crazy ranty conspiracy theory stuff. But I'm also not making stuff for children.
Right.
And I feel like YouTube is all people that are looking to get angry about something, looking for a conspiracy theory, or children. You know what I mean? It's like I just do wholesome content, interviews with people like you do. And like the unfortunate thing with the time that we're living in right now, it just feels like people don't invest a lot into wholesome content. Like, people were more interested in the drama, the scandal of things,
Right.
Do you find yourself ever thinking like, oh, like if I just did this, it could blow up? Or is like the quality of your content
that's so
bigger?
About that. That is true. Like, as people give me advice all the time, like, bro, you should start doing interviews like with more controversy and stuff like that. Speak on topics that's kind of like, you don't hear about every day. Which I know that would probably get me there. I know that would probably make me go viral, or at least viral in the city, if anything. But I don't know. I'm so big on staying true to myself. It's like I'd rather grind to get to where I gotta go. I don't have to take that route like everybody else did.
Exactly.
So that's why I really try to stay true to myself, or what I know and stuff like that. Like I know it'll blow me up, but
I think that if it's not what you want to do, then it goes back to that job shit that we were talking about before.
Like I feel like I'm That's true. I feel like I'm working a job right now just from doing that because you told me to do that. And it's like now I'm gonna try to do it. I know it's gonna give me some views. But
and your boss is like this character of yourself that you made up. And now you got to pretend to be this person.
Exactly.
And you don't even like that person, but this is you. That's like in your head. Like, that would really, really mess with me personally.
Right.
knowing that like, but fuck, man, there's like something that's so, I don't know, there has to be some psychology term for this, but like knowing that the worst part of you could get you the things that you want.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is that?
That's crazy. Swear. No, that's crazy though. That's it. That is crazy for real. In
terms of getting advice from people, you mentioned that that's a thing that happens. Yeah, that happens with me too. Do you ever feel that anybody gives you good advice? And when you're getting advice, is it from people that are also creators or just people from the outside looking in?
It's a little bit of both, you know. Like I got people from that's part of my team thinking like, all right, bro, you should start doing this. Which I do take advice sometimes, but at the end of the day, it's all about what you want to do. So it's like sometimes I'll talk to a couple of my friends that don't know too much about what are going on. Like, hey, you should do this. And it'd be sometimes good ideas. Sometimes the people don't have no clue about what we got going on. They come up with the best ideas because you gotta think of it like this, because these are the people that's actually gonna watch you. Like,
oh yeah.
Yeah. So it's like I do take advice from them type of people too. But for the most part, I just do what I do. Like I like my ideas.
Like, just because someone doesn't know how to cook doesn't mean that you know, if they say that the food tastes bad or something weird, you should listen to them. They might be right. I always love constructive criticism just because I don't know everything.
Right.
And that's true. You don't. And I think that it's important to grow. I think it's almost impossible to grow unless you can admit to yourself, be honest with yourself that you don't know everything. You know, because I feel like the people that refuse to admit that they don't know everything are always the ones that end up looking like clowns. It's like, you know, 10 years later and they're same thing, same spot, doing the same shit.
For real, that's true. That is true. That's definitely true.
When you were coming up, you know, was there anybody maybe a few years older than you, or like just like any sort of a peer that you really looked up to as a creator that you knew personally?
Not really, for real. It's weird because it's like I wouldn't say I have no influence at all, but like as far as this me doing this, it wasn't like I looked at something or somebody was like, I'm about to start doing that. It was just something I came across, and it's like doing, like, there's people's content that was out there that's good. I feel like it's good. I would say, like, I don't know, it's like a vlog. His name's Say Cheese. And there was somebody named Zach TV. He also did interviews and stuff like that. I don't know them personally. I actually got on the phone when Zach TV, but he passed away. He did like a lot of interviews. He was like a journalist around Chicago. Okay. So he interviewed a lot of the people out there that rap and stuff, like small businesses. It's like basically what I'm doing too. So it was like, that was somebody content I used to really watch a lot. But yeah, I could say them people kind of inspired me to do what I'm doing, but for the most part, it was just like I was self motivated. I was like, I'm just going to do it. I just got out there and did it. Yeah. And now, like, in the position that you're at, do you see maybe any younger people that are underneath you that you know in your peer group that are maybe trying to get into this? That has like anybody come to you for advice and things like that? Definitely. One of my friends, she does the events now. Her name's Cake Boss. Shout out to Cake Boss too. She actually got a pop-up shop. She do like pop-up shops and stuff like that. And she was somebody that I wouldn't say I'm not her mentor or nothing, but it was like she do come to me with a lot of stuff and shit. I come to her with a lot of stuff too. And I help her a lot with her events. And that's somebody I can really say that helped me a lot. And I help her a lot too. So yeah, that's somebody I would say, like, kind of seeing what I did, a lot of the different things that she do, you know, kind of inspired me a little bit too.
Yeah. And out of everything that you're doing right now, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the video is the main focus for what you're doing. So, you know, do you find yourself sometimes maybe feeling bad or getting down on yourself for maybe not putting time into other things like art or music or things like that? Or are you just happy to be creating regardless of what it is?
I like this that I'm bringing out content, period, for real. Yeah, because my music, like I like music a lot too. Sometimes I be feeling like, I should be in the studio. I need to get in the studio, drop some more music, because I got people who really, I got fan base strictly for my music. I got fan base strictly for my interviews. I got fan base for my clothes and stuff like that. So sometimes I feel like for the most part, I would say music for real. I feel like I could be putting out more music. But that's I had to do that for fun. You know, I had fun doing music, you know.
I feel like I relate with you in the sense of like, I have my podcast, I have my music. I also used to draw and paint a lot. I don't so much anymore. That's probably the one thing from my life that I miss it. But like, I find myself kind of tied down to all these other grinds that I got. So I make time for it when I can. But as a whole, I think that it's been hard for me to grow because there's, people that like me just because of music, people that know me from the podcast. Some people know me from art. And there's people that don't like the other things. And as an outsider, it can be really hard sometimes for people to even know what the fuck it is I do.
Right.
Like, because like I will admit, like, like when you hit me up and I'm looking into your stuff, I'm like, I'm not 100% sure
exactly
what the fuck this dude does. It looks like he's doing a lot of cool shit, but I don't know like what the focus is. And like that could be hard, I think, sometimes for out like people that don't know you at all.
That's
I don't know if you ever have that thought.
No, that's true. It's a lot of people who ask me, even till this day, like, bro, what is the main thing that you do, bro? I can't tell you. It's so many different things that I love all of them equally. So it's like I can't really say like I'm just one person, but I feel like I'm just a service and one. Like if you need this done, I can do it for you. If you need some music, I can do that for you. Music video, you need some plug, I can do it all. I'm just all one big service for real. So that's how I really could like really, and I just thought of that while we're talking through. So it's like, that's basically, I would say that's what it is with me. Like I'm just one big service. So whatever you need, I got you.
So, as we're wrapping things up, I want to ask you one more question. And this is a question that I get asked a lot and I never know how to answer it because of how much shit I'm doing. How do you feel when someone is just like, what you been up to?
I hate that question. Like I hate that question sometimes. It's like, go look on Scoop TV 24.
Sure.
To see what I've been up to. But nah, it just be like, it depends though. There's some people I ain't talked to in years though.
Yeah.
And they probably see what I got going on, but they just want to actually personally, like they don't know Scoop. They know Tim, my actual real person, me, like outside all that. So sometimes it could be kind of annoying asking that. Like I'm pretty sure you see what I'm doing, but I don't know. It's life, I
think that, I always try to be, I guess empathetic would be the word to people because like, I think that people are, even if they know what you're doing, I think people like to hear good stories from people and just hear, because then they feel like they're a part of your journey. You know what I mean? Because you're bringing them into the circle, and you're talking with them. And I think, for me, sometimes I could be a little bit too modest around people. And like, especially if I'm around like good friends, I have that feeling, well, they probably know what I'm doing, so I'm not going to talk about it. And then like, I'll have a show and nobody shows up. Because like, they just like, well, you didn't invite me. It's like, well, you didn't see the post. It's like, oh, I think maybe I saw it. It's like, oh, okay. So maybe people aren't paying attention to me as much as I think they are all the time. So it doesn't hurt to also just like actually reach out to people and let people know what you're doing.
No, that's true. That is very true. So
there's a problem, I think, going back to that bubble and that comfort zone that we were talking about, where after a few years of you doing Scoop TV, after a few years of me doing the podcast and shit like that, like people get used to it. They know what you're doing. They're not checking in with you all the time. Like my buddy, didn't realize I uploaded a video for 2 months. And all right, that's cool that you didn't notice that. But, as a whole, that ends up holding us back so much because we think that everybody knows what we're doing around us. But they don't. They
really don't.
And then we're not taking the time to go out and explore and travel like you were talking about before. So we've put ourselves into this bubble and we don't even realize that we're in it. Like the worst thing that you can do is assume that, the people that you think support you are actually paying attention. It's like, you don't want to be that person that is like always reminding and nagging your friends and telling them shit, like I don't like being that person. But at the same time, if you don't tell them, they're not going to know. Because everybody has their own shit going on.
No, that's true. That is very true.
It ain't easy, but it's fun.
Exactly. Should get shirts made. Say that.
Hey, you're the one with the clothing company. Feel free to take that. It could be a Start the Beat Scoop crossover collab. So one more time before we get out of here, Be sure to follow Scoop on YouTube. Like he said, he's trying to build those subscribers. I'm trying to build them too. But hey, subscribe to both of us. But subscribe to Scoop first. That's Scoop TV, PGH, right there on YouTube. And you could also follow him on Instagram, Scoop TV 24.
Yep.
And with all of that being said, look how low I am. You see that? That's funny as hell. I didn't adjust that. I look like I guess midget's not politically correct. I probably shouldn't say that. All right, we'll cut that out. Anyway, so as we're wrapping things up, tell the people, give them your pitch. Yeah. Say your piece, and then we'll wrap it up from there.
All right. First and foremost, like I said, I'm gonna say it again. Is please believe in yourself. Everybody that's watching me, keep that positive vibes, and anything that you feel like you need to do in this world, make sure that you out there doing it. Once again, follow me at Scoop TV 24. That's Instagram. Facebook, Scoop LO. We just dropped, actually, I'm going to show this on camera. We just dropped some hoodies that I got.
All right.
Scoop TV hoodies. This logo, I made it myself. The eyeballs and stuff on there. They just
those are fun.
Yeah, these is pretty cool. Different colorways. If you need one, just DM me. I'll get right back to you. I'll answer my DMs. We ain't bougie over here. I answer my DMs. So we got all types of stuff right here. So yeah, just check me out, man. Just watch my journey. Keep on watching me. I appreciate y'all. Appreciate you for having me.
Yo, I appreciate you for coming over. And with that being said, that is all, folks. Thanks so much for listening one more time.
Man.
Scoop,
let's get it.
Thanks for being here. I'll be back again in a couple days with another episode. Same time, same place, same channel. You know the drill. My name is Sykes. Start the beat 2020. Woo, woo. Thanks for listening. And we're done. That's a podcast.
Yeah. Oh, man. That was dope. I like this.